What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Bravo Zulu podcast. I'm Joshua Moore, your host, and we're here tonight. We're going to go through that CNO's reading list that I promised you. I'm going to speed run it. Let me know down in the comments, okay, which one I should read first, which one you're going to be reading. Should we go in order? Should we jump around? Should we just do the sailor character ones first? Let's get right into it, all right? Let's get right into it. We got the side by side. Let me hit the screen share. Boom, there it is. That's us. He's talking about reading as a force multiplier. Equips us with knowledge and all this stuff. Critical thinking, leading, yada, yada, yada. Let's get down to the books. That's what I really want to talk about. Foundry books. The box. How the shipping container made the world smaller. That one's very interesting as I'm in a maritime logistics class, or that's my degree path, and I know there's like a world economic course coming up, and it talks about shipping container, or not shipping containers, but shipping, I'm pretty sure. I read some of the small print on it. Freedom's Forge, Skunk Works at Lockheed, The Origins of Victory, how disruptive military innovation determines the fates of great powers. I think that one's super interesting as AI and drone technology, cheap drone technology. I'm not talking about like a lot of the drones we're working on that I know nothing about, but you could Google things. I'm talking about like the POV drones that are out there in Ukraine and all these third world countries and how disruptive those are being. I think that's very interesting. Innovating Victory, naval technology in the three wars. And then, something he also added, which I thought was really interesting, and we could do episodes on each one of these questions or some of these questions grouped together around the certain areas, is he added these discussion questions in here. So like Foundry discussion questions. How do industrial breakthroughs change character of naval warfare? And then question B2 was what lessons from World War II industrial's age, or from World War II's industrial surge applied to today's defense industrial base. Very interesting one, because we know during World War II there was motor companies, Ford, GM, these motor companies that were like building airplanes and tanks and all this stuff. So it's like, would we ever need to get to a area where we need to do that again? I don't think so, and not because the industrial base. The industrial base is very huge. In some aspects, it's a military industrial complex, if you will. And I think they build stuff all the time, and I think we have a lot of tanks out there that sit around and do nothing. I think we buy stuff, especially on like the ground forces side, maybe not even needed, but they're always being built, and we're always paying for it, right? Fleet books. So he broke it all down in different categories. The 6 frigates, The Last Stand of the Tin Can Sailor, rave reviews, 5 stars for me. All right, I've read it. I think you should read it too. I think if you looked up James D. Hornfisher, that author, he has several books about World War II, Navy history stuff. A lot of in the Pacific, great reads. I've read a few of them. A Brief Guide to Maritime Strategy. That one makes me yawn. Oh, shit. I don't know. Something's coming over me right now. It's getting late. Deterrence, the Eurasian century. All right, and the questions. What role does history play in shaping the modern fleet's doctrine? How should we balance global presence with combat readiness? I think we are very jacked right there right now. I think we have too much global presence. And we do not have enough combat readiness. That's what just this little poor chief thinks. I think we should probably reduce our global presence a lot and get more combat ready, right? It's balancing on like a knife edge. That's how thin that balancing act is, And it really, it's this is why I love being in the Navy. It's been great to me over 21 years now. We're always deploying. Like we're not just going on, oh, hey, yeah, we have a field exercise that's like a week or 2 weeks or something like that, Or, oh, they went on a debt and it's to like a nice air base overseas somewhere for 3 months or 6, whatever. Like, we in the Navy are always out there doing that global presence, right? Power projecting, all that good stuff, right? That's us. That's the Navy. It's really not of the other branches. It's the Navy, okay? And the more we do that, does not make me feel like it makes us more combat ready. It makes me feel like it's just we're taking our cars out there, running warm up laps when the race is. We know the race is coming, but we're just breaking our vehicle down. If that makes sense at all. Fight books under the Southern Cross. There's the South Pacific Air Campaign against Rabaul, the Battle of Tassafaroga, Fleet Tactics, Naval Operations, AI at War, another very interesting one, AI. I do use AI a lot. I like it a lot. I think it's a very helpful tool. I do not like what a lot of governments are doing with AI. I don't like, it's very Black Mirror-ish, okay? And everyone's seen Black Mirror, the series, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of the episodes. A lot of that shit does not sit well with me. The Neptune Factor. All right. Discussions, how do we prepare tactically for a fight we cannot fully predict? What enduring truths of naval warfare remain constant despite new technologies? Quick answers. Like, how do we prepare is you be good at what you're good at. That's what, like, I'm no naval, like, fucking tactician, war fighting, war gaming, this and that. For me, Josh, like, you prepare whatever you're doing in whatever profession, job, or whatever, you get the best at what you're the best at, right? And you get better at it, and you get even more bester at it, and that thing, you have to be good at that thing, okay? And hopefully everyone else is doing their part in that, and then you'll come together. But, the enduring truths, more ships and more missiles, more sailors, right? That's what's going to keep us in it. More ships, more missiles, more sailors. Okay. Less sailors on less ships. Like, this is my thing is we saw, like, through the first Gulf War, boom, beat Iraq's ass, got them out of Kuwait, boom, 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 blew up all their tanks. It was super awesome. It was all over so fast. And then from there, it was like, oh, we're so technologically advanced over every other military in the world. And then a short, 10 years later, we're in Afghanistan and Iraq. And we're taking casualties to IEDs. And we're learning about IEDs. Oh, what's an IED? Improvised explosive device. A VBID, vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. They're just making crude, using mortar shells, using this, using that. They were doing shape blasts where, what is it? Like, they would put it, in a crock pot or something. Or not crock pot, like some kind of pot, in shape form. So the explosion of everything would be formed to penetrate our tanks. Like, we need more. We need to have more than everybody else. Case in point is we have more nukes than everybody else. That's why people don't want to shoot them yet, right? Because we have more. Fight discussion questions. How do we prepare tactically for a fight we cannot fully predict? Oh, I did that. Total Sailor. These Total Sailor books, I think, are very interesting. The other ones, I think those are probably, if I may, your higher level, more senior, and if I may even say your wardroom books, right? They're thinking more tactically, strategically, things like that. Maybe not as interesting to the common enlisted man, woman, sailor. These ones, Total Sailor, that covers down on everybody, right? That helps us all become better who we are as sailors, as people. Marcus Aurelius Meditations. I've heard a lot about it. I read a lot of Ryan Holiday books that his whole stoicism comes around or is based off of Marcus Aurelius Meditations. So I might pick this one up. I've thought about it. I think it's probably in my shopping cart or in my library to purchase because I listen on audiobook. Legacy, what the All Blacks can teach us about the business of life. All Blacks, New Zealand rugby, awesome, great team. Most known like for the Shaka stuff they do and everything, right? Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor E. Frankl. Total Sailor Character. How do leaders balance humility and authority and command? Well, that's an interesting question, and I might have to like think more about it. But let me just shotgun myself. I don't think you have to balance those two things. Like they're two different things. I don't think they're on opposite ends of the same scale, right? So let's move on. How do Total Sailor competence books, So Good They Can't Ignore You, The Design of Everyday Things, The Talent Code, The Greatness Isn't Born, It's Grown. I believe that. Here's how. I believe that. I don't think, and you know what? Let's look at the greatest quarterback ever. Tom Brady. Not a fan. Was never a fan of the Patriots. Really probably disliked him. But after like number 4, it was kind of like, fuck, this guy is really that freaking great. And, if you look at him coming out of, was it Michigan, and his like rookie photos and everything like that, like, I mean, sure, he won one, no, was it rookie season or right when he started, he won one, right? And then he won multiple. But it's like, you can see where that was grown, right? And then people didn't think he would be able to do it because he went to Tampa and he didn't have Belichick. And then they're thinking, oh, well, it's a system. It's the Belichick system. That's what's making him win. And he goes down to Tampa, and he won one down in Tampa, didn't he? With whoever the fuck was down there. So that, I think, is like great. Like, at that point, it's kind of like he has grown beyond anything that he could have been born. And great opposite of this would be like I don't even like football or sports anymore, but I was watching these players when I was younger. It was like Peyton Manning, who comes from like the lineage, and now Peyton Manning's son throwing the ball for UT, right? It was like, sure, some of that like greatness is born, but or like, I don't know, great. It's not born, but it's like the potential is there. Potential is born, but the greatness is grown. It's pretty cool. Total Sailor competence discussion. What role does technical mastery play in building confidence? Very good one because it's on your eval, and I think it does it does play into building. Let me do this. Let me get this over a little bit so my eyes are wandering. I look like I'm looking at the camera like I'm cockeyed. The better you're at the job, the more confident you do become. Absolutely. Decision making, thinking in bets, making smart decisions when you don't have all the facts, absolutely has to happen every day. Farsighted, how we make decisions that matter the most. Awesome. I forget, is farsighted is you can see far, right? Or you cannot see close. I forget those. Let me know. Let me know down in the comments. Predict irrational, revised and expanded edition. Predictably irrational. The hidden forces that shape our decisions. Interesting one. Total Sailor decision-making discussions here. How do leaders make high-risk decisions with incomplete information? Very good question. Total Sailor nutrition and fitness. Great shift here. Throwing some of this out there. We're back up to 2 PFAs. BCA has changed. Fitness is on the mind of the CNO and on the mind of several people. Like, we should get there, right? I'd like to be there too. And I think I'll be there. Give me like 6 months, maybe 9, maybe 6. Maybe by beach season, I'll be out there with like my abs out. By abs, I just mean my stomach, not like washboard abs. Peak, the new science of athletic performance that is revolutionizing sports, the performance cortex, neuroscience, redefining athletic genius, why we sleep, unlocking the power of sleep and dreams. And the question, what parallels exist between elite athletic performance and sailor readiness? I do not think those two are even closely related at all. I think elite athletic performance is gone about with specific $1 million allocated to each individual, where sailor readiness is let's get as many people ready to go do this thing repetitively over and over and to respond under stressful environments as quickly and accurately as possible. I don't think it's like, because one's even if you're looking at like a football team of like with a 55 or whatever, there's so much more is invested into each individual one of those people. Or if you're just looking at the first 22, like your starting lines, so much more money in those individuals, where sailor readiness is just let's put enough money out there to build a gym, and then good. It's good for them. That's it. Total Sailor Whole Person books. Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance. From Angela Duckworth, a senator or House rep there, who's missing the leg, one leg, two legs, one leg. Veteran, combat wounded, I believe, all that good stuff. I believe that's her. Look it up. Can't Hurt Me. Master your mind and defy the odds. Fucking David Goggins. I've read it. I read 2/3 of it. I couldn't finish it. It was like when you see him or listen to him on social media, and then you're reading the book and you're like hearing his voice as you read, it gets very annoying, right? It's like, God, why am I reading you yelling at me, right? And again, if you watch the podcast and stuff on like him on Joe Rogan or anywhere else, it kind of like, the story and you get it, right? So it's kind of like, all right, cool. Like, I don't know. What I'm glad to see not on here is like thing from Jocko Willink, extreme ownership. Like, I'm glad we got rid of that. But I Can't Hurt Me. I'd get rid of that too. But I get why it's on here. Like, the resilience that he does have, I think it is amazing. But I think there's probably some better books out there. That I don't know who Endurance, Shackleton's Incredible Voyage, Alfred Lansing. I don't know who that is. But if he was going for like a all veteran lineup, I think there could have been maybe some other books in there somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. Total Sailor Whole Person discussion question: how does personal resilience improve unit cohesion and readiness in combat? That's a big question. I think that's very important. Right? You have to personally be resilient. That way you can bring that to your division, squadron, department, right? And usually what happens is if you're personally resilient, you can help others. Okay. And then if everyone's resilient together, like your division, department, squadron, whatever it is, you guys can take it. It doesn't matter what's being thrown out. You can take it together. Built in the foundry, tempered in the fleet, forged in the fight. Does that mean the fight is coming because we haven't been forged yet? I don't know. And are these backwards? Right? Like built in the foundry, don't you forge it, then temper it? Like, tempering is the last thing you do, right? I'm a sucker for like looking at things like that. All right, signed Admiral. Okay, so that's a reading list. First, if you leave a comment, the first comment, I'll pin it, and that'll be the first book I go with. All right, let me know what you think. Let me not do that. And we'll go from there. I'm going to read some of these. I got 12 months. We got to do better in 2026. We got to do better. It's the last one. Or I guess some of 20. I'm not making it through 27 in the Navy, though. I'll be retired. So let's make this last full Navy year a good one. Let's make it count. And that's all we got. Let me know what you think below. Don't forget, these views and opinions expressed are mine only. And we'll see you in the next one. We out.